a world where our attention spans are literally traded around as virtual currency, and social media is so prevalent and ingrained into our lives, it's easy to see that our attention spans are becoming shorter and shorter, but less and less people are knowing that this is a problem until it's too late. You may be one of those people who don't actually realize it at this moment, and you're still just scrolling on TikTok or watching YouTube shorts, and you have no idea of the consequences. Or maybe you're at that stage where you know it's bad for you, but you just can't seem to put it down. And I don't blame you. You've probably scrolled into the comments or looked at the sidebar videos, but that's how evil these companies are. Everything is so meticulously planned to steal your attention span just one more second. And is it their faults though? They're profiting off us and we should be able to control it. But blame them or blame us. But the truth is, our attention spans are being removed from us. Our brains are literally being removed from our own property. Like, doesn't that's just so like messed up. And every aspect of the internet, it's made to hook your attention. And so how do we get our own minds, our own brains back? I was going to give like 5 tips, but if you really think about it, it all comes down to one thing. And this term called progressive deloading gets thrown around a lot around the self-improvement community. But from what I've seen and what I've used, it really does work and it makes sense as well. So say right now you're really addicted to TikToks or YouTube shorts. And think about it, how long do each of them last before you scroll? Like 5-6 seconds. And that's crazy. Every 5-6 seconds, you're switching your attention to something. That's how short your attention span is. So how do we do something that's still bad for us, but is not as bad as that? Well, you could say YouTube videos because they're normally around 5-10 minutes long. So instead of every time you want to watch TikToks or YouTube shorts, watch a YouTube video instead. And sure, it's not good for you. That's not what I'm saying. But the very act of doing something that's a bit less than what you were doing and making your way up the ladder is so easy and beneficial for you. Think about it, like smokers, what do they do when they're trying to quit? Like nicotine gum and like nicotine patches. So it's the same thing. So say you start at TikTok and then it's YouTube and then podcasts or longer videos and then movies. Yeah, and books, and I think that books are such a valuable tool for everyone because not only do they increase your attention span, but we can learn so many valuable lessons, and I'll make a separate video on the books. But I know that it's dissatisfying, this step-by-step way, rather than just cutting it out completely. Because say your goal is to just quit social media completely, but you're doing it step by step, so you don't actually feel yourself improving that much because obviously it's more of a gradual decrease, deload. But you have to think of the long run because a wise man thinks of the long run. If you're really serious about making this a lifelong habit and you want to quit in the long run, you have to make it sustainable. So if you're just going from this point to this point, so you're watching TikToks but you want to quit out completely. So you've done this completely doing nothing for a while, but then what happens if you stop or you forget to do that? You go straight back to this beginning because there's nothing in between. So by building these step by steps, say you're watching TikToks and YouTubes, but then you take a step back and then you start watching movies or listening to podcasts again. Well, that's still bad, right? But it's not as bad as TikToks and Reels because you still made progress. So it's about creating this safety mechanism and fallback net. And yeah, I know because I've tried it that it's dissatisfying and progress seems slow. But as I said, it's setting yourself up for success rather than failure. Because we all know that by trying to quit in one go, it doesn't work. Just like how a smoker goes from smoking to nicotine patches or like nicotine gum to try and help them gradually deload. And I know for me that this was quite dissatisfying because as I would like promise myself I would only read books, but then I'd watch like a podcast or a YouTube video, it still felt kind of bad to me, and it felt like I was just undoing my progress. But then you had to think that a month ago I was watching like TikToks all day, like hours and hours, but now I don't even use TikTok or Instagram, and that's so much progress. And now even though I'm here, I used to be here but I'm here, I've still made so much progress from here. So yeah, although I feel so bad when I'm like sitting and doing nothing, I have to remember the long-term run that I made. So with that, I hope that you could give it a go, because I feel like I've explained it well enough and you understand like how this is different from just taking that big step, and how by making these step-by-step improvements, it could increase your willingness to do it, but also the efficiency.